Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor. Oh, and I was having so much fun looking at network stats. Gotta get my window reconfigured there. But
network trouble.
Network questions. Made some changes to it, as you and I often like to do.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working quite well.
You know what I was going to do today? I was going to come home a little earlier than I normally do. I did not do that. But I was going to disconnect the bar that holds this monitor, the camera, and my laptop and rejigger it. But those are the type of things I do an hour before the show starts.
Yes.
So I guess it's probably a good thing that I didn't get in time.
Yes. You should schedule time on Wednesdays to reconfigure, and then we test is what somebody would do.
No.
But
what do you got there on your head, my friend?
I have got a hat, and this one is a little bit emotional because my wife has made comments about me and the amount of hats I have.
Yeah.
But her and Isla went to a garage sale the other day, and she bought me a hat, and it is the Columbia Gorge Sternwheeler. So that is a vintage. It was a older couple having the garage sale, and they bought some things, and there's a whole box of hats, but this was the only trucker hat. So she actually bought me a hat. So there is hope.
There was a hat here somewhere.
Really? I'll be right over.
We were going to sell it at the garage sale, and we either didn't put it out or it didn't sell. And I thought, you know what? Nate might want this hat. It's a good hat.
Yes. And you might think, looking at my background, that I'm back in Alaska again.
No.
But I was actually this past weekend in Sisters, Oregon, which I would call the Alaska of Oregon.
Okay. What's the Sisters of Alaska, I wonder?
That's a good question, but I had a good time over there. So this was my nice hotel room at the Ponderosa Lodge, Best Western.
Yeah. Speaking of mountains.
Yes.
People go to Alaska and they're taken away by the majestic beauty of the mountains. And they're gorgeous. When I was there, I didn't get to see too many mountains, just the ones in the main valley there. But I live in Oregon and I see majestic views every day. But as one does, I had my VR headset on and I have this Google Earth type app that allows you to fly over the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And over in Kyrgyzstan and those areas, very mountainous. I'm getting to my point here. You're like, time. You zoom in and it's just mountains for miles. And you zoom in and you go into these little cracks and crevices, valleys, one might call them.
Yeah.
And you find little villages or buildings with, what do they do? And you zoom out and you go to a few miles over and you zoom into another one. Every place you go, in every nook and cranny, people are living there doing stuff. What do they do? I mean, there's farming obviously in some of the areas. Why would you want to live in the
James
crack
Bond
of a mountain?
bunkers?
Maybe
evil villains.
Well, they're everywhere.
Crazy. Well, speaking of the Quest 3, before I get to that, I want to mention that back on episode, which was it? Just a few weeks ago, 443, when I picked the screen door, the magnetic screen door.
Yes.
Well, when I went to add it to not picks, I was like, why won't it let me add this? Oh, wait, we already have the exact same one that Dave picked back on episode 393, number 4 Dad, which was Father's Day of last year. So almost exactly 1 year later, go figure, we each bought magnetic screen doors. So
we have good taste.
I thought that was a curious thing. Yes. So it was the exact same one. So on Not Picks, I updated it, add my review and everything. So it's just one link on there. But
this is some anecdotal proof that you and I do a good job picking the best products on Amazon. Because I found one I bought it, and then you did a search and found
And
one
it
and
was
bought the
just
same
long
one.
enough that I forgot that you had bought one.
Yeah.
So that's another good reminder to head over to notpicks.com and you can scroll through those old picks, because if we forget what we've picked, you probably forgot what you picked, and you probably haven't
Totally.
listened to every single minute of all last 60, 70 episodes that we have the picks up there for.
There are
One
people
of
who
these
haven't
days, I'll
listened.
add some more.
They haven't listened to everything.
Well, some of our newer listeners, newer subscribers on YouTube, which
Well,
we
they
have
need to
been
get
gaining. Thank
back.
you very much. Good reminder to be watching the
Oh
live
yeah.
show so you can get all the visuals, like and subscribe the page so you know when we
Click
go
that
live. But
bell.
ring that bell. Okay, well, on to our main topic. There was kind of a sensational story, I will say, this week. And the first headlines I started seeing in the techosphere, uh, when producer Todd's here,
Oh,
he says, newer subscribers. Todd, how do you know I
yes.
bought some newer gear? But maybe more on that later. But anyways, our tip of the week, this story, I started seeing headlines. Apple halts production on Apple Vision Pro 2. They've stopped making it. And it's all the
Weren't
going
they
along
making it
with
before?
the momentum, or developing. They've stopped development. All these
Oh,
headlines I see rolling through on social media and everything. Well, if you actually click the article, and I think they quickly updated them, because the report actually was that they're uh, working on a cheaper one. So they've halted a second version of the current one to work on a more reasonably priced model. And the article I've linked to in the show notes from 9 to 5 Mac, the headline is cheaper Apple Vision headset could require a tethered iPhone or Mac.
here,
Uh,
I want to do one.
yeah.
Cheaper Apple Vision headset could be made of macaroni.
Oh, it
I
could be.
mean,
Report says just start writing the AI generated reports. But
it's,
yeah,
I hate titles like this that say could, because I can make any claim, and
yeah.
it's, give me some proof or some
Yes.
evidence.
Yes. Which it totally makes sense if they make it where you have to use an iPhone or a Mac, or you would think an iPad as well. So it can use some of the processing power on that and then just post. Because there's been several VR headsets that worked off of
Yes, but
computers or other devices.
that's going backwards, because that's what they used to do, or that's what you have to do to get high-end gaming, is hook it to a powerful PC.
Yeah.
The revolution is when the Quest 1, 2, and 3 came out. It was an all-in-one experience. You don't have to tether it
Yeah.
to anything. So I
Yeah.
feel like if they are working on this and you have to hook it to something else, I feel like they're going backwards, but that's me.
Well, yeah. And if they can save a lot of money, my thought would be, I have an iPhone. I shouldn't try to use my iPhone while I have my Vision Pro on. So if they could make that work, because they do have their amazing AirPlay software, the communication between devices and all of that is really strong. But again, it's all a report. It was from Mark Gurman, who is pretty stinking accurate on things.
Well,
But
this was
um,
okay. This article is written by Chance Miller, but he must be
he
quoting Mark Gurman.
every Mac article and Mac podcast basically is just a quote of Mark Gurman,
Hmm.
because I still hold by my theory that he is an illegitimate child of an Apple executive, and they
Hmm.
just hand him all of the
Out of
information
guilt.
because he
Yeah.
knows way too much stuff. But his report, Mark Gurman said, prototypes of the N107 also have a narrower field of
Urethra.
view than
Oh.
the Vision Pro, and the company is considering making the device reliant on a tethered Mac or iPhone.
Hmm.
That would let Apple save money on the processing power and components needed to make the Vision Pro a fully standalone product. Now, I love my Vision Pro. I use it nearly daily. I travel with it. I like it. One of the things that seems like they could do to save a lot of money would be the screen on the front. I feel like the screen on the front is kind of the touch bar of um,
Hmm.
the Vision Pro, where it is nice if there's people in the room for them to be able to have that feedback that they can kind of see your eyes through. It kind of works
It'd be
sometimes.
nice if you had one right there for illustration purposes.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
while
Where did I
he's
put
looking
it?
for that, I'll discuss how much fun I've been having on my
Okay.
Quest 3. Oh, okay, we're back.
Oh, you and your Quest 3.
I've had, I mean, so here's the thing about the Quest 3. They did a version 6.6 update, and they just had a version 6.7 update that allows you to put Windows wherever you want, kind of a la the
Vision
Vision
Pro.
Pro. So many of the features are coming to make the difference narrower between the two
Yes.
devices. So there you
Yeah.
go.
So the screen on the front here, I feel like they could save some money on that. Again, I don't know what all the costs are. They could have it where it's, a cheaper battery pack or whatever it is. But it will be interesting to see what they do, because I did post a short on Not Nerd the other day about traveling with my Vision Pro, and had a couple comments. I can't afford it. That thing's too expensive. And that's been the extreme general consensus. So,
I bet if they took
uh,
off that front screen and all of its tech, they could lower the price $300-400 easy,
yeah.
easy, maybe even $500.
Yes, and I think the
May I say a
report said
thousand?
they're aiming for something around $1,500,
Hmm.
which be much more approachable if it's got a lot of the same features. Because man, do I like the Vision Pro! But I
Mhm.
understand that a lot of people do not prioritize fundage in those
They
amounts
we
towards
can't
their
get people to
technology.
spend $12 a year on iCloud Plus
Well,
storage.
yes,
How are
yes,
you going to
that's
get them to
true.
spend $1,500 on a different device?
Yes. And they do say, the reports are that this cheaper, lower cost version would debut like late 2025, so still over a year away. So if you think that you'll be able to get one of those for Christmas, you are sadly mistaken. But yeah, the Vision Pro. And let me know in the comments, let me know on other social media if you want me to do more videos talking about why I love the Vision Pro, what I do with the Vision Pro, because I haven't done a lot of that, and I don't see a lot of that at the beginning. Everybody was doing the dumb, I'm in a restaurant, I'm skateboarding down the street, I'm driving a car type
Yeah.
videos just for clicks. But I would like to portray the value if people would like to know where I find that value in
You
my
know what?
Vision Pro.
You know what the biggest feature of the Vision Pro is for you? I can tell you already. It allows you to wear it without obstructing your mustache. That's the biggest
This
feature. It
one
is
of the
mustache
problems
compatible.
is that it is mustache compatible. One of the things that I have not done much with it is trucker hat compatible,
Mm.
because
Wow, there's
that doesn't
some
work.
screen art right there. Woof. That's
Oh,
that is
gotta put
sexy, my
my
friend.
passcode in there.
Uh,
Pick up my battery
you should just do the whole show like that, and then make
and
your
my,
background an alpine type mountainous
yeah.
region, and then it looks like you're in ski goggles.
Let's see if I connect to the, I'm connecting. So there I've got my Mac monitor, which I can put literally right in front of the camera. So your
Wow.
whole teleprompter thing,
Yeah.
I am staring at my camera, but I also have my screen. Well, right now it's about that big, but I can make it a lot bigger. So yeah,
I don't have any VR stuff around me right now,
I
or
just
else.
I wish there's a way that I could force the eyes to turn on.
Right. But there's nobody there uh
Yes, and I tried to
to turn it on.
trick it before. If I
In
hadn't,
my face, make my face big.
that's, well, my your face is in the screen. Oh, not that face. Let me see if I hold a picture up to. It did work in a mirror.
This week in Vision Pro trying to get it to work.com.
Yes. Let's see if I
Now when you did
do that.
something, the light came on in your screen. What in the
Uh,
world is happening here?
I'm trying to. I've got a picture of Isla up on there.
Oh,
Oh,
something's happening.
oh, I
Oh,
think because,
they're there, but it's
hey,
mainly blue. I don't see an eyeball. Oh, there I did briefly. Here's the thing.
Okay.
It's changing it on the perspective of where the face
Oh,
is. So it
so
would
I
have to
need
be
to
right in
post
front of
a
the
big
camera.
picture of Isla right above my
Yeah,
thing.
I think that would
No,
work.
it works. I like people being able to stare into these hazel eyes.
Well,
You know, it'd be really nice if I could get my little Mozart
reminds me of
bust to
Lily's
trigger it.
hazel
But
eyes. Your what?
okay,
Your
anyway,
trigger?
Mozart. I have a bust, a golden bust of
Oh,
Mozart on my
Mozart.
desk,
Yeah,
as one does.
yeah, of course. I think
That's
that's
what people do.
Beethoven, but yep,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's Beethoven. I've seen it before.
No, mine is well, unless they did Beethoven and
Oh, does it say
put
Mozart on it?
yes.
Okay, maybe it says.
Mm,
I
I'm
just want
gonna
you to break your desk.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's Mozart. I'm sorry.
Doesn't everybody have one of those on their desk?
I could 3D print one.
Yeah. Wouldn't be as heavy as this guy is. Put him over there. Okay. Now
Well,
putting on my thing and taking it off. But yes, Vision Pro, let us know if you have questions about it, any of that stuff. I lost my YouTube window. Oh no.
what were
There
you
we
doing?
go.
You watch YouTube while you do the show?
No,
I'm
the
playing a video
YouTube
game right now.
studio where I can see the chat. But enough of all of that because it is time for Dave's pro tip of the week. So I can stop talking for a little bit.
Nate, have you ever been using one of your devices and you think, man,
Always.
I sure wish this battery would last longer? What's happening? It's just been in my pocket. It's hot and the battery's running down. I'm not even using the thing. What's going on? Is my phone indexing the internet, stealing information for a large language model? Like what's going
Yes.
on? My guess is that it could be due to background app refresh. If you were to ask me specifically what background app refresh is, I would tell you I don't know. But I can tell you what I think it is because I'm not sure how well documented it is. But imagine, if you will, a mail application. I use Spark. And every 5 minutes, perhaps, it checks the server to see if there's any new mail and downloads that into my device. Well, if I have background app refresh, it could be doing that when I'm not even running the app, when the phone is in my pocket or in my purse. Um, so that's great and all. So when you open up the application, the new emails are right there. The bad part is it's using a lot of battery to do that. So the alternative is to turn background app refresh for that specific application off. And then when you launch it, it has to download everything real quick. But the trade-off is it has the potential to save lots of battery. Now let's take a look, if we can. I was complaining earlier that my older iPhone 7 has been crashing, but let's see if it'll come up on my screen regardless.
How dare an iPhone 7 be crashing?
I know. Here we go. So
It's only 8
here's
years
my
old.
iPhone. Oh, are you playing along at home there? I see your phone
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
I'm
Okay.
looking in at the stuff, so I will follow along.
Yeah. So what you want to do is click the settings, and then you want to scroll down to general, our friend the general right there. And now scroll down a little bit more, and I'm going to put it to the top of the page here. Background app refresh. So settings,
Mm,
general, background app refresh. I click there. There's one option to turn all background app refresh off. And fun fact, when you put your phone in low power mode, this is one of the things it shuts off is background app refresh to save power. But you can also go in and individually and specifically turn off for individual apps. Now, this is a phone I don't use very much. My regular phone has hundreds. And so I
yes,
went through the other day
yes, I
as I
know.
was, yeah, as I was planning this episode. And I went through and toggled off nearly every single one except for a few. Like I, for example, would really like to have my mail synchronize and maybe iPhoto if that's an option to kind of synchronize so I'm not waiting like an idiot for my picture to
Yes.
load. Things like that. So if you have found that your applications are using too much energy and making your phone lose its battery, this is one way to do it. Also, I mean, I got to call a spade a spade. If you have any Meta slash Facebook products, you could turn off background app refresh for those apps. They probably are still doing things in the background. I mean, they have shown time and time again that they do not honor either their customers or Apple's wishes with these toggle switches. So if this doesn't work, maybe try uninstalling Facebook and see if there's a difference. But hopefully, turning off background app refresh for Facebook, Instagram, all those might give a difference. So we'll see.
Yes, I probably don't need background app refresh on both of these 7-Eleven apps I have, or AAA, or
Yeah.
and now
Ones that you just never use, there's no sense.
I believe they can still push
They
notifications
can.
to you.
Yes.
So
Like
if
if
you do,
there's,
if Aunt Edna comments on your Facebook post,
it will still
you'll
push
still
that
get a
to you.
notification. It's just not updating. Now, I'm going to give a little bonus pro tip where you
Okay.
can track these things. So if you go not into the general in your settings, but
Okay.
if you want to go into battery,
Let me go back. So not to general, just main settings
main
and
settings, and
then
then go to battery
battery.
right there, the green one. And then you let that load for a second, and you can look at the last 24 hours, and it will show you. Oh,
What
it's showing
has
me
been using it?
percentages.
Yeah. Look at this.
So if you go, or if you're on the battery usage, or no, click where it says show activity
Yeah.
right there, the blue on the right side.
Oh,
If you click show activity, it will actually tell you what has been using. So, like for me, it says YouTube in the last 24 hours, 3.5 hours on screen, 21 minutes background. My second one on the list is photos.
okay.
The Photos app says 11 minutes on screen, 8 hours and 5 minutes in the background, which would normally freak me out. But my phone freaked out yesterday and I had to reset. So it's resyncing everything. So overnight,
Oh,
while I had it plugged in, it's resyncing my 70,000 plus photos and videos
well, here's something that's
down.
interesting. I don't even use the Mail app on any of my devices, and I don't even use this phone. But look, the Mail application has used in the past 24 hours, 1 hour and 36 minutes in the background.
Yeah.
What is it doing?
Yeah. So going into the battery will tell you which apps, because here's Facebook in the last 24 hours, 39 minutes on screen, 8 minutes of background, which is acceptable.
Yeah.
Instagram, 27 minutes on screen, 5 minutes background. And you can also switch that to last 2 days if you want a little bit more data, but it's very similar. But you might go in there and see something like my Photos app, but it's actually the 7-Eleven app, and it
Mm-hmm.
used 8 hours in the background. And
And
you'd be like, background app refresh, you are gone.
this should
Or
not
app,
be the
you are gone.
case, but my guess is if you have background app refresh turned on for many applications that, and if location services is enabled, they're constantly tracking your location. Would be my guess. Whether it's through the location API that Apple's given them or if they have other nefarious ways of doing that. For example, if you have a list of all the Wi-Fi access points in the country and your phone is seeing those Wi-Fi access points, well, potentially the application could have access to that information and then triangulate where you are, thereby tracking your location. So I
Yeah, I
think
was
it's a
going
good
to
idea
look
to turn it off for any app that you don't absolutely need it on
privacy.
for.
I was going to see the privacy and security. Is that where the location service
Yeah,
is?
it's separate. Privacy and
When
security
we've
only has
talked
like
about
two
that one
options.
before, the privacy security, there's the location services, and you can see which apps,
Yeah,
like the 7-Eleven app.
of
But
course.
not many of them most of mine are wall using, which they've tried to lock it down. But like you're saying, they do try to figure out other ways of getting that information.
There's a whole cottage industry of people trying to find ways to skirt around Apple's privacy stuff.
For like Mile IQ, I'm scrolling through my list. That one is set to always, but that is the mileage tracker app that I use to keep track of business miles. Yes, thank you. Please take always. For some reason, I have messages is turned off for location services.
Yeah, Apple's weird about messages. Whenever you get a new device, you're like, why aren't I getting my text messages from people?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, messages in iCloud is turned off. That's weird. But every single time it's turned off and I have to go in and turn it back on. So there's another pro tip. You're using up all my pro tips today.
Well, hey, it's some good reminders to keep an eye on that stuff, especially like your original point. If your battery is draining quickly, it is a good thing to pay attention to. So check your background app refresh, turn it off for anything that doesn't need it. Check your battery usage to see if there's something that is using a lot of stuff and you didn't think it was.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a bug and it's some app is in there hogging.
Yeah. Yes. But yes, I am sorry that we used up like 4 pro tips of the week. We're going to have
That's okay.
We're going to have to do some more research, but
just like AI, I'll keep making up stuff. I'll just make it up.
Just
I'll hallucinate.
Chat GPT, Google Gemini, give me 10 iPhone tips, and it just gives you, that would be fun to see what it came up with. If you asked it enough times, I'm sure it would make up some stuff. But with that, we're not going to make anything up because it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines. We've got some driveway cam. Did you wash your windshield again, Dave? Because your car is looking clean.
No, it was just the last time. I haven't.
Wow.
I haven't done any.
It's a great reflection of the summer. It's officially summer now.
It is. I mean,
summer evening here with a balmy 86 degrees.
Yeah. What do I got? 84 here. So
yeah. There we go. Okay, well, it is time for Just the Headlines. Millions of mosquitoes released in Hawaii to save rare birds from extinction.
Like that's going to end well. NASA's Voyager 1 probe is fully online again after months of spouting gibberish. Kind of like us.
Amazon Prime Day 2024 will run July 16th and 17th.
Supernova slowdowns confirms Einstein's prediction of time dilation. We already proved it other ways, but whatever.
Yeah. AI-generated candidate files to run for office in Wyoming.
I'd vote for him. Astronomers detect sudden awakening of black hole 1 million times the mass of the sun. That's big.
And the U.S. Postal Service honors Alex Trebek with a stamp. And those are just the headlines.
Smart fellow, that Alex Trebek.
Yes. And I did give you the science.
Yeah, all
you are
science ones.
The science specialist.
I'm going to go back and read some of those. Time dilation is a thing.
Yes, but perfect example of why we do just the headlines, because I find a lot of interesting headlines that we don't need to talk about, like mosquitoes and rare birds, but also like Amazon Prime Day 2024. We've been talking about that for the last 7 years. Like, we don't need to spend 10 minutes on it. So that's why we do just the headlines. Okay, on to our takes of the week. Big news. First of all, this has been a big thing that has been in the works for a long time, but Julian Assange leaves jail on his way to enter plea deal with the U.S.
What?
Now, Julian Assange of Wikileaks fame, he leaked a lot of government documents that the government was really not excited that people found out about. But he was a hacker and a journalist and did all kinds of, we'll say, and I will remind people, this is the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet. Because as I was scrolling X last night, it appears this is a very political topic, but he has worked a plea deal with the U.S. To get him out. He's getting older. He's got some health issues. He's got a family, but he was in, where was he? Locked in jail in a different country. He's been in
Cuba.
a few. Oh, he has been held in a British prison for the last 5 years and fought extradition to the U.S. And he's expected to return to Australia, where his family is eagerly awaiting his return.
There's one advantage of being locked in a British prison is regular tea time.
Yes, tea and crumpets.
Yep.
You get that. But yeah, very interesting. I saw somebody posted, okay, who gets the first interview with Assange? But
I figured he'd be assassinated the second he left prison.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
CIA. Perhaps.
CIA, very colorful individual, but you know, a lot of people respect the journalism he did, and a lot of people don't necessarily like what he did. So polarizing subject. That's where we are with old Jules Assange. Well, the next one, how small claims court became Meta's customer service hotline. Now, we talked several months ago when the Unipiper had his account locked and he couldn't gain access to it again. So this is basically talking about how a lot of people are starting to take Meta and Zuckerberg to small claims court to try to get their accounts back, because it's such a pain to actually deal with Meta and have them do anything for you.
And remember, kids, Facebook is not your website. Don't put your business, don't put your everything on Facebook.
Diversify.
It is not the place for your content that earns you money.
Yes. Well, it is for a lot of people. It's how they stay in touch with people and with.
Yes. But I've one of the worst things I ever see is some business, and it's like, blah, blah, blah. We, buy our nail care products. Go to facebook.com/hair care and fingernail. It's like, spend $15 on a website. Or
trust me,
spend $30 to $150 a month, depending on your needs. With Nate at Consist Media, he will hook you up with a website and a service. What's your lowest website, Nate? Like the lowest price. Like you build it and you just maintain it, or you don't maintain it. It just runs.
I just build it and give it away for the most simplest. Just, you need your business card on the internet. We're probably looking at, if it's somebody I like, we're probably around $500.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's connected correctly and everything.
Fee. That's just a one time.
No, that would be the one time.
And then like what, $50 a month to keep it running or something like that.
Yeah. If that depend, completely every website is different. Cause I literally, and it is still up. Geez, what is it? This is
Eve. Wait, no.
Yes. Let me look it up here and I'll share the link with you, because this is not one that I am proud of, but it still exists on the internet. And I know she's still in business, but I cannot get a hold of her. I'll put it right below the pics for you, or right below the takes. Vine Country Bookkeeping.
Hasn't come in yet.
In the notes under the last take. Well, it's vinecb.com. This is pure HTML. It's not HTTPS. You can see at the bottom the copyright is 2011, and I don't think I have touched it since. So yeah,
it's still not coming up. So what's the URL again?
Vine,
VINE,
VINECB.com.
Oh, CB.
Yeah, this is CB, Country Bookkeeping.
Yeah, so that helps. Context helps.
This is the most
Wow.
anti-marketing I have ever done for Consist Media.
Yeah,
it is literally the front of her business card and then contact information.
Go off of this. This will not cost you $500 to design and $50 a month to host.
Go to Not Nerd or Not Pix or Consist Media to see a better example. But yes,
who did the logo? That's not terrible. I mean,
I forget who did I think one of her friends did it.
Yeah, don't forget. If you type in the right URL, you have notnerd.com.
Yes.
Which helps you tech better. And we do a podcast every week.
Oh, online. Do we?
Yeah. Wow. So you might want to check that out.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is much better. Yeah. Hey, fun fact on this automaton. Video, it is 30 gigabytes on my computer. I deleted it today. I don't know why it took up so much room. It's like a 3-minute video.
That is crazy. Okay, well, back to our next thing. Apple has a new tool called Help Me Choose to help you choose the right Mac for you, which I think this is something good. Not everybody has the two of us to help them decide on a Mac, but it takes you through a series of questions. And I actually did it earlier for myself, and I was interested. At the end, it gave me 2 different 14-inch MacBook Pro options, not the 16-inch MacBook Pro.
It's wrong,
but it asks you about what you use it for, what kind of stuff you want to do on it, if you're mobile or not, whether you'd want an iMac. And you click through. It's very easy to use. But I think...
predict. So I went through pretending I'm a world famous video editor.
Yes.
Do I want an always fixed in place like my desk? It's going to recommend the Studio. I guarantee
the Mac Studio.
Okay.
What you plug into it, if you use external stuff, because a lot of people don't. Like the two of us have stuff plugged into our computers all the time, but some people, and then it does ask a budget.
Well, why didn't it just start with the budget? Because they've got like 10 products that would have weeded out. So since it's my business, I'm going to do a $3,500 budget.
Yeah.
See what we got here. Let's find a perfect match. I guess
Mac Studio.
Mac Studio. That's what it wants me to have, and that's what I know that I want, but I don't have that much money laying around.
Yes.
Although I spent about, I probably spent more than that on my laptop, didn't I?
Probably around there at least. But then you're mobile with it, and you can use it everywhere.
And it comes with a free monitor or an included monitor.
Always my recommendation. And more Apple news. Final Cut Pro gets a major update, which you and Wes are probably the only ones that care about that. But they did release their new Final Cut Pro camera app on iOS.
I have not tried that.
I downloaded it yesterday and I opened it up. It is a very nice, very clean camera app for shooting video with all the different settings and focus and the stuff that isn't as easy in the regular camera app. But the advantage with this is then you can use an iPad or a Mac to control it and up to 4 cameras, I believe, at the same time. So you could literally run a studio with 4 iPhones, a 4-camera shoot with 4 iPhones and an iPad now, which is pretty stinking impressive.
Let's see if
this app is free.
It does require iOS 17.4 or later.
Oh, so if you shoot a lot of video, if you use Final Cut, there is a big update to the software.
That's disgusting. What is this vertical?
Because that's what their thumbnails, I think, in the Apple App Store have to be vertical, but it does it. It's very simple. Whereas the Black Magic camera app that we talked about, that is a very full featured, it can be a little too much. There is a lot of settings in there. This is very Apple-like while giving you pro features.
I mean, if you're someone besides me, maybe.
Well,
I find
true.
It to be quite easy to use myself.
No one's quite like you, Dave. Well,
you're lucky.
A little 2 security and privacy stories this week. And I think I was actually, I was going to put this in just the headlines, but I had a thought about it. Amazon-powered AI cameras used to detect emotions of unwitting UK train passengers.
Yeah, I saw the headline on this, even though this wasn't in just the headlines. This ticks me off. This is no different than people complaining about OpenAI and others scraping the web and just pulling whatever data they want to train their models. This is the same thing, except it's your government doing this. It's like nobody asked or opted in to the government surveilling them and detecting what emotions they're, what's the word? Emoting,
yes. Yeah, so
anyways, makes me mad.
They were testing it out for the trains to be able to, use AI to see if, somebody's doing something graffiti or, something that they shouldn't be doing. But it also was tracking motions. Now, here's where I'm going to put a little twist on it, Dave.
All right.
You like going to the movies, correct?
Yes, with an asterisk. I like movies.
Yes, you
Oftentimes
like movies.
there are other people there. But
yes. Well, here's what I was thinking. If fully transparent, if you opted in to say, hey, we're going to do this movie premiere, you can come for free, and we want to use some emotion tracking to analyze our movie, like if it was for research purposes. But again, this train thing, it was completely, nobody had any idea what was going on. I can see some good uses for this where,
if
you've got a theater of 100 people.
I would probably consent and
yes,
say,
yes, you're getting something in return. Yes.
I'm getting something I want, and you're getting something you want.
Yes.
You're not,
and what you're getting into. They're not going to broadcast your video of you all the way through the movie, but they want to see where people laugh, where people get bored, and when people eat their popcorn, when they go to the bathroom.
They're not going to track individual
people. So it can be done right. Yes. It is just not very often that happens.
Well, there's this entitlement. We've never been a more entitled society than we are now, and that's leaking over into these businesses where they just take whatever they want. And it's the old adage of I'd rather ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness than permission, which is the worst adage.
AKA, I hope I don't get caught.
Yeah. So people who do things like that basically are just scoundrels.
Yes. Yeah. And then one last one. Change Healthcare confirms ransomware hackers stole medical records on a substantial portion of Americans. And I don't know if we really talked about the Change Healthcare breach, because I try to avoid these, but yes, they have confirmed that because they run healthcare on top of the Healthcare United Health Group, and so they said the company has access to massive amounts of health information on about a third of all Americans. So they think most of that data was stolen.
Wonderful. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes. Well, let us quickly move on to our bonus odd take so we can cleanse our palate. And this is a fun one that I found. Now, don't tell Isla about this product that I linked to in the show notes, because she is going to want one, and I don't know it exists. But this is a website that contains weird and wonderful patents. And this one is the pet display clothing, patent number 5,901,666. Yikes. Issued May 11th, 1999 by Bryce Belisle. No need to leave your gerbil or hamster at home with this novel pet cage. Just put on the vest, and little Hamlet or George can run around as you do. Wow.
If I have to say this once or 1,000 times, leave your pets at home.
We are the most nonpartisan podcast on the internet, I will remind people. But if you go underneath it there, Dave.
What am I going on?
The go back that's under that main paragraph there, it'll take you to the master list, right? Lower left, blue link. No.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I mean, the one that says go back.
To be honest, was kind of hard to find.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of patents on here, and they've categorized some of the weirder ones. But I thought that pet vest, hamster vest, was a
Here's a
good
better
one.
mousetrap.
Yeah,
Wow.
oh, goodness.
That's
Yes.
something else.
Yeah, but a very fun little site from Browns and Michaels that they have gone through a bunch of patents and put in some fun ones. So, device for
fun.
waking persons from sleep. The wake up to, oh my goodness. Oh,
Is there another one you want me to show, or?
Yes, it's the under the life's little comforts, almost near the bottom. It says "Wake up."
Gotcha.
This is from 1882, before technology advanced, but it is a clock on the wall, and then a massive mobile of bells. It looks like that would wake you up at a certain time.
Huh. The object of my invention is to construct a simple and effective device for waking persons from sleep at any time, which may have previously been determined upon. It looks like it was written in 1882.
Yes, yes.
Wow, that's fun.
Yes, a fun little site that we like to find for that. But you know what else we like to find?
What's that?
Our picks of the week.
Nice. That was brilliant.
Nice.
You're see-through. When are you going to spray paint your microphone? So
I know. It is funny too, now that I have an actual.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you noticed that your mic just dropped. Meanwhile, on the Not Nerd podcast featuring Dave Baylor, we're going to be talking about
XLR cables.
Oh, so sorry.
Always
we almost had a whole show on
cables.
MetaQuest.
Yes.
Yes, the
pick
picks of the week. I believe I typically go first. Now, Nate, you and I want to call this a friendly rivalry, if you will, between the aforementioned Newer, which Todd said in the
chat earlier.
He said something else here. Joke's on them. Oh. I can't afford to go to the doctor.
Oh, on the Change Healthcare story.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that's one way to keep your data safe. Yeah. Never interact with anyone.
Well, so you like Newer products, NEEWER, however they spell it. I prefer SMALLRIG, and I feel like we're just head to head with Newer versus SMALLRIG, back and forth. Who's gonna win? It's like a sports team. It's good, fun rivalry. Well, this week I picked up a couple of these because I purchased them a while back and I needed a few more, and I really like them. But this is the SMALLRIG Super Clamp, and I got a 2-pack. These are little clamps. I wish I could show you how I have it working, but what you do is you can clamp it onto stuff. I know a clamp that you can clamp on stuff.
Clamp with a clamp?
I'm describing this very well. But it's designed to clamp well in a pipe, like the pipe I have extending from my desk that holds my monitor and various things.
Oh, yes.
So I have my camera clamped to the bar, and then with this clamp, it's got these a quarter 20 thread and a 3/8 inch thread. So you can put some of their other products in there, these little screw bars that twist around and do stuff, or a little tripod or whatever you want to stick in that hole. I have a little ball head on an armature plugged into the clamp, which I can organize my camera in any position that I want. So anyway, they're not that expensive. They're like $7 a piece, and they're all metal construction. The black area, that's all aluminum, and I would assume the bolt is some type of steel alloy. But
I'm looking. I did a search on NutPicks, and I found some errors because.
Well, I picked similar clamps before.
Similar clamps, and I thought you got me one. I went to a link for the SMALLRIG Super Clamp camera clamp mount double ball head, and then I read the description. It says, "We love SMALLRIG and we love lights." So after Dave picked up 3 of these video lights to improve the lighting in the studio, that is not the right image on that product on NutPicks.
So when I bought those lamps, I bought the clamps with the little
little wingy thing on it.
But I don't. Those are all plastic, and I don't like it. The clamp's the same, but the little arm is just cheap and chintzy.
Yes.
It's inexpensive. But I got, and maybe a future pick of the week, I got the arms that are made of metal that are good.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm using them in different ways.
That was February 7th, and I need to go back to that one and update some.
Well, SMALLRIG's just a good company, as is Newer.
Yes,
Maybe
and I
not
have
quite
plenty
as
of SMALLRIG things and plenty of Newer things. They are both very reasonably priced, good quality
But we can't
audio
have a
and video
feud.
gear.
I feel like you need to give me all your SMALLRIG stuff, and I need to give you all my Newer stuff.
Okay.
Although that ball clamp I'm using, or that ball head, I like it a lot. I don't know if I can give that one up.
Okay, I'll let you keep it.
All right.
I've got enough gear. Nice. Well, my pick of the week this week is something that I did get either Father's Day or my birthday. They were a day apart. But it is this thing. Dave, do you have any guesses?
Pill canister.
Pill canister. Yes, this will hold pills. No.
It's
hold on
thing,
just a moment.
Well, let me keep guessing. You tip it over and it goes moo.
Yes, I do love those things. If anybody wants to buy me one of those. No, I've got a visual demonstration for us, as I often like to do after I get my Vision Pro off of it.
All right.
So this is green screen.
Oh no.
Here, we'll do this side.
This is a tube.
Yes, this is a thing. So I plug this in here.
Oh, it's
in this little tiny device. It's the Giga Pump 4.0.
Giga Pump 4.0. And it had enough battery to do half of a tube.
Yeah. But it'll inflate. And I'm bummed about my green screen there because Crocky is pretty cute. But yeah. So this little device I got, it also has a
Pro tip. Don't put that in your ear.
Yes, a very bright light. It comes with a nice little mesh bag with a bunch of different adapters for different inflation needs. And if I can turn this light off so I can see again, you can put the adapters in either end so it can inflate or deflate. And Dave, it's USB-C. Charges via USB-C.
Yes.
It is
everything
so nice.
Should be USB-C. Well, everything should be lightning, but since it can't be, everything should be USB-C.
Yes,
although,
and
I'll say lightning.
I put a link in the show notes there for you. Hopefully that'll come through to you. But
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Let me guess the price. I bet that thing is $17.99.
Oh, not the 4.0, my friend. It is more. Currently $35.99 with $3 coupon available. Now they do have a bunch of different models, and there are a bunch of these things. I think this one was recommended on Cool Tools, and I wanted to have this in my arsenal. We're going camping later this week. There's a bunch of different options, but the Giga Pumps are very well reviewed.
Giga Pumps sounds like shoes, maybe.
Yes, yeah. Not the GG pumps. But yeah, it's got 4.2 kPa. I don't know what kelvins per air. I think that's kelvins per air.
Well, that link didn't come through either. I have it. I'm starting to wonder if you're putting it in the correct note. But
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know why it's not syncing with you, but
it's okay. You had a live demonstration, so that was
yes. But yeah, it's a very nice little device. I mean, you're not gonna want to do everything with it, but if you have something small or need a backup thing, because you know what they say, Dave?
What's that?
One backup is none backup.
That's right. You can't move forward unless you back up. Behold the power.
Yes. And it's so stinking tiny. I mean, the fact that this can inflate anything is pretty amazing. So
just don't stick it in your ear. I mean,
yes.
When you put that thing on there, I'm just like, that's a murder weapon right there.
Yes, yes, it is. Well, if you want to purchase either of those picks, you can head over to notpicks.com, like we mentioned earlier. And we do have a Ramazon purchase of the week. You guys have been shopping heavy. You've been doing lots of home improvement stuff. But this one, once again, I am curious who purchased this. It is the extra capacity hanging file folders RAZCC 60 pack letter size reinforced hanging folders
Holy
with
Toledo.
heavy duty 1-inch expansion for bulky files, filing cabinet, adjustable tabs, green. I want to know in 2024 who needs 60 jumbo hanging folders.
It's somebody who's redoing their entire filing cabinet. They're like,
You don't need those files.
Old stuff.
Recycle, burn it.
You know what you need? I'll show you what you need. People are going to hate me. Filers hate this one weird trick.
Oh, there's our title.
Oh, it's called an iPad.
Oh, hey.
They have a camera on the back.
Yeah.
They got a nice screen.
Built-in scanning features.
You can scan. It's got a pencil if you need to make notes on there.
Yeah.
And look, when you're all done, at the end of the day, it fits in a nice little...
Yes.
Stick it right here.
No filing cabinets needed.
There you go.
You do not need that much paper, folks. So I want to hear why you bought that. Hopefully it's for something besides file storage. You've got some cool craft you're doing or something.
Well, you know, filing cabinets can store all kinds of things. Maybe children's artwork, or if you have a bunch of like stencils or something, or the larger ones could hold like maybe containers of stamp pads. And if you had like a plastic case, you could put the plastic cases in there. So, I mean,
would they work for trucker hats in any way? Let's see.
If you try hard enough, you can get anything into a file cabinet.
Yes. And other exciting Not Picks news, the giveaway for the $20 Amazon gift card has completed, and the winner the odds were in her favor, as you might say, but Chelsea, who I think she did 7 different reviews in this prize period.
Is she eligible?
She was never eligible, but she said for the Amazon gift card that she wanted to be, and she is diligently. So if we do, I think we will do another Amazon gift card. She might not be eligible to re-win, but all you have to do is go to Not Picks, find something you like or don't like, and leave an honest review about it.
I feel like there should be a cooling off period. If you win, then you can't win again for another 6 months or something like that.
Yeah. We might have to instill that. So our often winners like Wes and now Elliot. Chelsea's a winner. Elliot's won a couple.
So I need to talk to my cousin Davida. Maybe he could go and do some.
Go and fill some out to win some prizes. Yes, indeed. Well, that's an episode. We covered a lot of stuff. We talked about mountains.
A lot of mountains and people living in those little cracks, those crevices. What are they doing there?
Maybe that should be our main topic next week, is you can bring up you can give us a MetaQuest tour of the crevices.
I will. I'll tell you what, I'll hook it up to my iPad or whatever with the screen sharing, and I'll fly over that area and show you. It's like, what are they doing there? Anyway, it's a mystery.
I do not know.
It's a mystery.
It is a mystery, but what is not a mystery is us wrapping up this episode. Thank you for those of you who joined us live. Watch us later on YouTube and your podcast apps. Follow us on all the social medias. Interact with us. Ask us questions so we can all get out there and tech better.